And welcome back, everyone, to Cyrus Webb Presents, our Prime Day Conversations, as we're calling it. So glad that you could be back with us. For those joining us on Amazon, welcome back. We've been with you guys throughout the day today, bringing you guys some great conversations and some great deals. And it's going to continue all the way through tomorrow as well. We're simulcasting our broadcast, so we also welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, as well as on IG. Glad you all could be with us. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to be able to put those in the chat. We have a great guest that's joining us for this next segment. We're excited to welcome back best-selling author and motivational speaker and coach Tracy Glass to our broadcast. She has a brand new book that's just been released called Restored. We're going to talk to her not only about the writing of the book, but what's willing for her to share her own personal message. It is geared toward one audience, but I really believe it's something that all of us can be able to use and reflect on in our lives as well, as we're kind of looking at ways that we may have felt broken or not felt at peace. Tracy really shows us how we can be able to come back together and become the person that we were meant to be. Tracy, welcome back to the broadcast.
Oh, thank you, Cyrus. It's a pleasure to be on your show again. Always a great time with you. So thank you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Wow, I feel the same way, Tracy. It's always great speaking with you. Now, I should let our audience know on the Amazon side, Tracy and I actually met because of her book, Get Up, Girl, Let's Go. I would say, Tracy, that Restored is a great connection with that book, but really takes them to the next level. So talk to us about this. This is your newest bestseller. How does it feel to be able to see the response to the book?
I'm overwhelmed. It's like I think I'm going through all the range of emotions, Cyrus, of yay, happy. But whenever you release something new, there's also a little bit, I think, of fear.
Yeah.
You question, will people like the book? And it takes a while to write a book. I mean, this project has taken almost 2 years. And so I think that there is a sense of relief, but also when you share your heart in a book, there is vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
And so it's all of that. It's all the emotions. But overall, I'm really excited because I feel like Restored has a very important message. Not that my other books have not, but as you said, this book is for a specific audience, and that is women and men. I wrote it for women because that's my genre of women that have gone through separation and divorce, but also for a woman that has gone through any relationship type of pain and feel like they're not healed, any areas of brokenness relationally, betrayal, rejection, all of that. This book is for that woman.
Yeah. And what I will say too, Tracy, is someone who's now finished the book. What I think is so interesting, I've never been married, I've never been divorced, but I think there are so many different layers of this book that speaks to people, I think, in different ways. I'm going to actually read something a little bit later to kind of illustrate that. But did you imagine Restored? Did you imagine it being a book that would help people to heal after what could be seen as, let's be real, some people see divorce as a failure, right? And I've had friends of mine who've gone through divorces or separations, and they feel like they fail, which is why so many of them tries to fight so hard to stay in a situation that they know, for one, is not healthy for them, but two, because they know the stigma that kind of comes with that. Did you know that this was going to be a book that kind of destigmatized that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The reason is because I actually wrote the devotionals that are in this book, Cyrus, when I was actually walking through my divorce. So they weren't written after the fact. These are real words and emotions and experiences that I have gone through. At the time, I did not know that they would be transformational because I wasn't necessarily transformed yet. So writing it after the fact, the words of the devotional, and as we talked about on our IG Live, but the book has 4 parts. And so I took what I had written and I thought, okay, how do I pull this together to offer restoration and hope? Because I believe that is what's needed. And you're absolutely right. I think, Dee, can stand for disqualified, right? Or some type of failure. You go through a divorce, but the goal of this book is to give a different perspective of divorce. I didn't want to go through a divorce. I believe in marriage. I'm actually remarried in this season. And so, but what I don't want to happen to people that walk the journey, because sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's necessary to happen. I want to remind them that God has a restorative plan. Do not discount yourself. You're not out. This is just one chapter in your story. Let's get busy and begin to rebound from the pain and just the layers that impact you when you go through a divorce.
Yeah. And I think the reason why I made the comment I did, Tracy, when I was prepping for this segment, I went back to day 13. And when I first read this, I thought, I've heard Psalm 91 used for a little bit of everything. I had a friend of mine whose son was on trial for murder.
Oh, wow.
It was a self-defense situation. But she went through that Psalm 91. That was the subtitle of her book, actually, that she wrote, was Psalm 91. Psalm 91 got her through that. And I thought it was so interesting, the question you chose for the chapter of this day. And this is why I say for myself, having never gone through separation and divorce, this book still connects with people. Day 13, for those who don't have their copy yet, is Do You Need Protection? Tracy writes this: Psalm 91 shows how God is a protector. It's reassuring to know he is our security guard along with his angels. This psalm tells us if we trust him instead of relying on other things, he will save us and keep us safe from the trap set by the enemy. And then you go on to share parts of Psalm 91. I want to talk about this one because this is one that stuck with me on page 94. I will answer your cry for help every time you pray, and you will feel my presence in the time of trouble. I will deliver you and bring you honor. So I guess my question is, Tracy, is one of the benefits of this is that even people like myself who've never been in the situation of separation and divorce can read this and still get the assurance that you were able to get in your situation.
Absolutely. I think Psalms 91 is, man, that's a chapter for everything that we're going through, right? Any trial and tribulation that we face, and just a reminder that God is our protection. It talks about the secret place, how we can go into the shelter of the Most High, and literally he protects us there. And so, boy, walking through a divorce or any challenging situation, sometimes we do need to run because we feel like there's so many darts and arrows being fired at us that we need protection, and we need some protection that is stronger than what we can offer, because oftentimes we just don't have the strength, right, to overcome some of the things that we battle against. So I love this scripture as well, and that's why I put it in the book. Cyrus, is that it says here that I will answer you for help every time you pray. So not just one time, every time you pray.
Right. And that's the great reminder there. Sharon Tail, hello to you. Good to see you over there on IG. Lachelle, good to be able to see you over there on IG as well. See you guys also over there on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm joined once again by best-selling author, motivational speaker, and coach, Tracy Glass. We're talking about her brand new book, Restored. You guys can get it in paperback or the Kindle edition. I got the paperback because those are easier and quicker for me to read, but it's available in both formats. We're talking to Tracy not only about the writing of the book, but also the connection she's now able to make through this book as well. I want to talk about that part because this book kind of becomes a through line for you, Tracy, in the three things I just mentioned: being a speaker, being a coach, and by writing this book. Talk to us about what that's been like for you to build your community of individuals who may have been where you are or may be processing things as you were. What has it been like for you now build a community where you can help them to find that restoration?
It's life-giving. I'm in my purpose, and I never thought that pain would become my purpose. We hear that often a lot, that pain can become your purpose, if you use it right in the right way. But it is life-giving because I get to serve, and that is my heart. I don't ever want to see another person struggling because of divorce, being stuck, and being depressed and feeling like their life is over because their marriage has ended. And so I have the heart of a mentor, a coach, a mom, a friend, where I just want to love on people. I want to hug on people and let them know that you're going to get over this.
Yeah.
And how can this situation actually turn out for good? Because Romans 8:28 says that all things that we go through work together for our good. And so as a coach, in particular with coaching women that have gone through divorce or in it right now, or separation, that's what we focus on. We focus on how can God turn this into good. Yeah. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful ministry that I have, and I love it.
Talk about the way you decided to structure the book, because what we're able to get, as I just alluded to, Tracy, we're able to get the different days, and then you have what you call in the book the scriptures. Then there, of course, there is the grace to rebuild, and then the prayer. Talk to us about how you decided you wanted to structure the book.
Okay, so again, the title, obviously, we're talking about it, is Restored. And so that's the focus. How do we get to a place of being rebuilt and restored? And I think oftentimes we think of restored, Cyrus, as I want to go back to where it was. Mm-hmm. But I like to define restored as, no, restored is going to a whole different level. It's another level of restoration that God comes in and does for us. And so the past is over. And so the restoration that we're focusing on in this book is, how does God want me to move forward? So that's really the focus of the book. And so there's 4 sections. It's the devotional, it's the scriptures. So each day there are additional scriptures. So if you want to study more, in a way, it's a little bit of a Bible study. And so, for example, on day 13, we just mentioned about protection. So there'll be additional scriptures about protection that the reader can read. But then it goes into promises. So promises of protection. So I may mention about protection, and I'm talking a little bit about the secret place where there's protection. But I'm bringing in promises. So these are things that the word of God says, of promises of how he will protect you. Right. And then the last section is grace to rebuild. And these are sections where the reader can journal. And the questions are very thought-provoking. And they're geared in a way to bring awareness, but also to provide grace. Because I think that could be one thing that's missing when we walk through divorce, separation, or just a challenging time, is we beat ourselves up. We don't love on ourselves. And so this section is really designed for the reader to embrace that, okay, I've gone through this, but it's okay because I'm still loved by God. My life is not over, and there is hope for my future.
Love that. What is it at this point, Tracy, for you? Because I think when I have talked to my friends who have gone through a separation or divorce, it feels like that's the end. Right. What has it been like for you to find your own new beginnings?
I'll just say this: divorce is not the end. Divorce is not the end. As I was traveling through that season of divorce, and Cyrus, that was almost 10 years ago. I could have never imagined the place that I am in today. And I'll say this, that without walking through the challenging time of a divorce, I would have never written 3 books. I would have never become a life coach. I would have never discovered my purpose. And so there is good and beauty in pain. if we allow that pain to be used for a purpose to move forward and to help others, I believe that when we're serving others, that God blesses our efforts. And so I do remember those days. I haven't forgotten those days, but my life now is very different. I'm actually remarried, and I got married about a year and a half ago. And so I have a totally different rebuild life. So I feel like the book's title is really My Story Now Restored. God's promises to beautifully rebuild you. And I feel like that is my story. He restored me and he beautifully rebuilt my life.
Love that. And it's something that's possible for all of our audience. Again, everyone, best-selling author, motivational speaker, and coach, Tracy Glass has been our guest for this segment. Her new book is called Restored. You all can see it here. Again, you can get it in paperback or the Kindle edition. And this is not just all you're doing now with the book. You also are building an online community. Tracy, talk to us about that.
Yeah, actually, I have a divorce and separation recovery group, and it is a community. And we meet twice a month online. And our goal is to move forward in life and not to stay stuck in the past. And yes, do we have a time to kind of rehash some things maybe that had happened in the process and to vent a little bit? Yes, we do, but we don't stay there. And so part of the group is very intentional for us to do things like we've done some vision boards, and we talk about real topics like how do we financially move forward after divorce? What do we do with all of the range of emotions that go on as we navigate the process? How do we communicate effectively with our ex or the spouse that we're separated from? What do we do to begin to rebuild relationships with our children? So we're dealing with real topics. And it's very powerful, Cyrus, because oftentimes you feel like when you're going through, you're the only person that is impacted. But I think the beauty of the community is that the ladies come together and they're like, oh, wow, you're going through that too. Oh, I'm not going through this alone. And so I love that. I love that there's friendships that are being made. It's a safe place where people can be real and vulnerable and be encouraged. And that is so huge. And I just want to say this. If you're walking through divorce or separation, please don't isolate yourself. That is the worst thing that you can do. Please tap into a community of people that can love on you.
Love that. Tracy, great conversation with you as always. Let our audience know how they can stay connected with you.
Sure. Yeah. Please email me. I love to encourage people and to chat with you if you're in a situation right now. And so I'll leave you my email, which is info@tracyglasscoaching.com. Shoot me an email. Also, you can catch me on Instagram. I am Tracy Glass, and also on Facebook under Tracy Glass. And so that's how you can reach me. And again, if you have any questions, I would love to chat with you.
All right. Tracy, thank you again for dropping by. Really appreciate the time and looking forward to our next chat together.
All right. Thanks, Cyrus. We'll talk
welcome.
soon. Bye-bye.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.